Have you ever sensed that the quietest moments on the Warriors' timeline could be the loudest? What if the shadows between the headlines are where the real battles are fought, not on the hardwood, but inside the hearts and minds of those who wear the blue and gold? Could the tremors we feel now signal not just the end of an era, but the birth of something darker, more urgent, and far more electrifying than anything Dub Nation has witnessed in decades? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, your front row seat to every twist and turn in this never-ending Golden State saga. Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring that bell so you never miss a second of this roller coaster story. Trust me, you'll want every second carved into your memory. Right now, the air around Chase Center is thick with whispers, and the fan base is holding its breath with a mix of hope, nostalgia, and seismic anticipation. There's a name buzzing in every Warriors chat and burning across social timelines, not with the carefree excitement of a rookie phenom or the familiar rally cries we've grown used to, but with the weight of absence and unspoken heartache. It's a silence that's speaking volumes. Could this be the sound of a broken link trying desperately to reconnect? There's some muttered in confidences between front office insiders, others erupting on podcasts and forums from the reporters who track cap space like bloodhounds. Two former players cryptically hinting at changes large enough to shift the franchise's trajectory forever. Could this mean the Warriors are ready to make a seismic move, one that goes beyond the usual draft and develop routines, beyond the splashy Splash Brothers and painful playoff heartbreaks? Is it possible that Golden State is preparing to rewrite its defensive identity to patch the gaping hole left by a player whose impact was felt far beyond highlight reels and box scores? Some insiders whisper that a guard, an elite two-way force with a track record for clutch defense and a lethal three-point shot, has emerged as a plan B. Or maybe even the missing puzzle piece in a post-Wiggins, post-dynasty transition. He doesn't just play defense, he transforms it, one source told us in hushed tones while sifting through the latest trade buzz. And in a lineup where Steph Curry's offensive genius needs room to breathe, having a perimeter defender who can cover multiple positions feels more like salvation than strategy. The name Derrick White is threading itself through those conversations with an almost mythical weight, like a returning prodigal son poised to alter the course of history or at least arrest its decline. Looking back, remember the era when Golden State's identity was so plainly on the line, when every possession was a chess match between Stephen Curry's sublime 47.5% shooting from the field and his world-class 41% three-point shooting efficiency, Draymond Green's unmatched defensive versatility registering a staggering defensive rating under 100, and Jordan Poole's electrifying bursts of scoring that could flip momentum in a heartbeat. Yet, even those brilliant moments sometimes felt like they needed just one more ironclad defensive anchor, somebody who could silence the opposing team's best wings, snuff out passing lanes, and make every defensive stand feel decisive. Andrew Wiggins was all of that and more: quiet, relentless, indispensable until his unexpected departure in the last trade deadline shattered more than just the rotation. It pointed to a deeper fracture. Fans still wear his No. 22 jersey at Chase Center, a symbol not of loss alone, but a lingering hope that some part of that warrior spirit never left. Social media erupted when Wiggins, now laced into Miami's system, shared that haunting black screen story. His father's passing last September added layers of tragic gravity to that emptiness, reminding us all that players are people, too resilient yet vulnerable. Amidst all that, the question morphed into something more than a trade rumor. Could the Warriors still be that refuge for Wiggins, the place where balance, purpose, and belonging once intertwined? And here's where Derrick White enters, not as a mere name on a rumor sheet, but as a potential bridge from the painful past toward a future that demands urgency. In Boston, White's currently writing his own story, averaging 16.4 points, 4.8 assists, shooting 44.2% from the field, and an impressive 38.4% beyond the arc during the 2024-25 season. A single-season leader in three-pointers made for Celtics lore. His skill set is the kind of versatility every contender craves. But those numbers don't tell the whole story. It's his invisible game, the timely closeouts, the disruption of passing lanes, the intelligent double teams, the pinpoint passing, and the positional awareness that saves the team countless possessions that really sets him apart? Could the Warriors be eyeing him not just as a player, but as the missing defensive linchpin alongside Draymond and Jimmy Butler, creating a cage-like perimeter defense capable of stifling even the league's most potent defenses? Sure, Jimmy Butler's grit and Draymond's cerebral leadership are still monumental, but there's a growing consensus that even that formidable trio can't fully shoulder the weight anymore. Curry's brilliance remains unquestioned, as his A-level play continues to challenge every defender. But at 36 years old in age, where even the greatest must start thinking about legacy and longevity, the Warriors' window demands reinforcements, who can relieve pressure without sacrificing excellence. But the chessboard here isn't just tactical. The Celtics are cornered by salary cap constraints and looming luxury tax penalties, forced into unthinkable decisions after Jason Tatum's devastating Achilles injury cut short their pursuit. Derrick White, locked into a $118 million contract, with a player option looming, has suddenly become a prized commodity, not just for his skill, but as a much-needed financial lever in Boston's struggle to manage its roster. The question that pierces through the noise is simple but brutal. Are the Celtics ready to part with one of their most reliable and beloved veterans? And can the Warriors offer enough value, be it promising young talent like Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody, draft picks, or even Chris Paul's expiring deal to tip this high-stakes balance? Dub Nation is divided. The emotional scars from Wiggins' departure linger like a stubborn bruise, making any potential trade paints in shades of bittersweet sacrifice. Yet on forums, threads burn hot with fevered debates. Is White the missing defensive keystone? Can this move ignite a final championship run? Or is it desperation cloaked in hope? Veteran posters recall echoes of the Run TMC eras, flashy offense struggling with defensive stability before the Splash era rewrote what an NBA team could be. Others argue this could be the final act of a dynasty refusing to fade quietly into the night. Fans share imagined locker room whispers. If we bring White home, we're not just patching a hole, we're reigniting a fire. Influencers have called it a do-or-die gamble, a last stand for the Chase Center Kingdom, and even a potential return to glory steeped in gritty championship defense. But what do you think about all of this? Is Derrick White the answer to Golden State's next great challenge, the stabilizing piece they've been hunting for since Wiggins' silent exit? Or is this just another chapter in a saga destined to test the fans' faith once again? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe the Warriors have reached a crossroads where boldness isn't a choice, it's a necessity. Derrick White might just be that bold move, that electric pulse capable of bridging past wounds with future glory. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're feeling that unmistakable surge of adrenaline right now, smash that like button like it's a dagger-driving 3 from Curry in crunch time. Subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report and light up that notification bell, because if ever there was a moment where every heartbeat in Dub Nation matters, it's this moment. Where the stakes are sky high, the rumors incendiary, and the future of Golden State hangs in the balance like a buzzer beater caught in slow motion. Picture the tremor that would ripple through the NBA landscape if this deal for Derrick White actually erupts from whispers into a franchise-altering reality. You're not just swapping a piece on the board, you're injecting a stealth all-star defender who can morph the DNA of this Warriors squad in real time. Think about Steph Curry, the magician, whose shot arc is still a lethal poison tipped beyond 41% from 3, but whose minutes and efficiency demand a fortress of defense around him to maintain that dynasty-level clutch. Curry's game has always thrived on spacing and pace, but adding a player like White, who can lock down a winner, chase down perimeter threats, and quickly collapse from help defense would relieve Draymond Green's gargantuan defensive burden and unleash a freer-flowing offense that could spontaneously combust night after night. Imagine the chemistry nightmare and, potentially, fireworks. The young core might face Pajimski, Kuminga, Mudic, hungry to carve out minutes and define their identities behind the glare of a new all-star backcourt. Could White, the consummate two-way maestro, serve as the mentor and defensive anchor that refines their raw talent, accelerating the growth curve? Or would the cramped minutes and shifting roles ignite internal friction, testing the Warriors' famously tight-knit locker room? We remember that same locker room's ability to battle through turbulence. From the raucous we believe playoff run to the dominance of 5 championships in 8 years, an era defined by the symphony of soldiers who embraced both glory and grit. Curry's gravity on offense, backed by his all-time cheeky handles and bucket-hungry teammates, combined with Wiggins' two-way Warrior presence and Poole's rapid emergence as a high-octane scorer, crafted an identity that was as electric on offense as it was intimidating on defense. Wiggins, who transformed from underappreciated role player into a key defensive anchor, with a positive net rating north of plus 7.8 last season, was more than a name on a lineup card. He was a cornerstone in that balance. His stunning departure still, raw in Dub Nation's collective memory, left a void as deep as the Bay Bridge at night, a scar not just of basketball consequence, but of personal and emotional fracture. Now, as the Warriors flirt with welcoming a player who could conceivably fill that gap, someone analysts like Woj and Shams are dissecting breathlessly in real time. The question explodes beyond the court to the very philosophy of this franchise's rebirth. The Western Conference is a brutal proving ground, a furnace where titans like Denver, Phoenix, and the Lakers have been throwing down their own marker ambitions. The Suns' star-studded lineup, bolstered by DeAndre Ayton's imposing presence, Nikola Jokic, unmatched playmaking in Denver, and LeBron James' relentless drive to prolong the Lakers' legacy, all form a swirling tempest of competition. Yet, Dub Nation knows the Warriors are never out of the fight, especially when the chemistry aligns and the defensive personality clicks into place. Imagine Draymond's intense eyes lighting up once more, a fiery coiled spring harnessed by the added versatility of White, whose capacity to switch seamlessly across the perimeter could redefine how Golden State defends the league's best wings and stretch forwards. Remember the seismic impact of Iguodala in those dynasty runs. His role as the unsung glue guy, weaving defense and savvy leadership, was the difference between contenders and champions. Now picture the buzzing locker room echoes on Telegraph Avenue, conversations stacking up like the waves crashing on Ocean Beach. This could be the perfect storm. It's the gamble we need. If it goes sideways, it's a cautionary tale for the ages. Barroom pundits argued late into the night, luring in fans with tales of a new defensive juggernaut, framing the Chase Center's resurgence. Those triple-digit scoring nights from Poole ignited the crowd. Wiggins' two-way impact, still fresh in memory. But what if this is the missing link to a superior defensive system, one that could stifle the newer, faster offenses tearing through the league? Analysts are feverish about White's impact metrics, a near-light defensive rating hovering below 102 when he's on the floor. Plus, the capability to shoot 38.4% from deep while averaging 16 points and 5 assists. It's that holistic production that would give Steve Kerr a new weapon to wield fresh playbook wrinkles, and a publicly craved reinforcement to ease Curry's minutes into longevity territory. Plus, the salary cap dance behind the scenes adds a layer of chess-level intrigue. The Warriors' luxury tax considerations, potential sacrifices in young talent such as Kuminga, Moody, or the high-value but expiring Chris Paul deal, all factor into a delicate balancing act. What will Dub Nation weigh more heavily to the young blood who personify the future, or the immediate injection of a proven two-way veteran with a knack for big moments? Remember, this isn't just about any trade. It's about a franchise with 5 rings, a ceaseless thirst for excellence, and the ever-present shadows of time marching against the greatest dynasty of their era. With Wiggins' departure layered in grief and questions of loyalty, every fan is haunted by the possibility that this duel of destiny might fracture or fuse the team in irreplaceable ways. Would welcoming White symbolize healing and rebirth, or highlight the cracks running just beneath the surface, threatening to unleash locker room tension or tactical disarray? That's the firewall of uncertainty burning at the heart of every analysis, every heated forum thread, and every conversation cracked open at the local watering holes. And so, as the Warriors and the Celtics negotiate, the Bay Area waits, breath held, basking in the zoos of what-ifs and the electric promise of what next. Will this be the clever gambit that restores Golden State's place among Western Titans, a move that sparks a defensive revolution and bolsters Curry's twilight with an unstoppable collective? Or will it unfold as a cautionary chapter in the franchise's storied history, where risk exceeded reward and long-standing chemistry unraveled beneath the glare of expectation. The final question haunts us all. Will this audacious gambit be remembered as the moment Chase Center roared back to glory? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe the Warriors are standing at a crossroads where courage must be the compass, and Derrick White just might be the fierce heartbeat needed to propel this team back into championship contention. The synergy of Curry's brilliance, Draymond's defensive instincts, and White's versatile lockdown presence forms a triad that could redefine the Western balance of power and electrify the young core into greatness, setting the stage for an unforgettable next chapter. If the front office pulls this off, this is no mere trade-its, a thunderclap echoing through Bay Area streets and into the annals of NBA lore. So if you feel that electricity coursing through your veins, smash the like button, unload your fiery thoughts in the comments below, and stay glued to Warriors News Fan Report for every splashy update in this saga. Because as the Chase Center saga continues, one thing's guaranteed: Dub Nation never quits, never backs down, and always chases greatness until the final buzzer.